Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 21 of the Iron Glide, Iron Teeth hard mode playthrough. A bit of a mouthful. Today we are going to continue our endless destruction of this mountain up here to sort out some wood issues as we are fairly low. We have a bad tide incoming in pretty much less than a day. Luckily, we've got all the beavers pumping. We are filling up the water as this was kind of neglected for quite a while. So all hands on deck for that. We are in a mostly decent position, I think, from a beaver population point of view. But for that, we're going to have to get them to work on this power pit down here, of which they are working on. We're probably going to need to start to think of things that they're going to need over here to build all of this. So I think most of it's here. I don't think there's any other bits that we need. Planks and logs is the main thing. Obviously they're not doing anything because they're constructed, but yeah, I think it's just wood. But we are down on planks and we are down on wood, so we need to fix those. First things first, then we will start with a wake-up call for anyone not paying attention with a gentle kaboom on here, and also from the center. Lovely. We have just a tiny spot of contamination in the corner, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind, we can get rid of that. And there's a couple of outstanding bits and pieces here we need to also rip out, so let's get them on with that. Helps if I actually click things. Good, so now that we're on the same level as everything, we should have the range to reach everything, which we do. So I am going to plant pines, I think, for this, just because they're just quicker. So we get the same out of those, to be fair. 2 logs in 10 days. So there's our bad tide. So I think for now I'm just going to lay these in. This one won't grow, so I'm not going to bother. I think everything else will work. We could patch this up with what's that looking for? Contamination barrier. Thank you. My brain has finally kicked in. Let's just get rid of that, and we should have enough now to get those planted. Hopefully sooner rather than later. We're probably going to have an endless march of trees being grown up all over here, but we will look at probably just maybe putting it on this level, I think. Maybe flatten this out a bit. Sneaky dynamites. Thank you. Any more sneaky dynamites? No, I don't think so. I think they can reach those. Maybe not. Anyway, they'll get to it if they can. So, while the beavers are worrying about getting their goods sorted up here, we did also begin to create this little area up here. This is basically the, I guess, the dirt mining section. But they are busy on this. This will probably take a while to get done. I'm not really going to get too invested in prioritizing this over anything else. And then this scrap down here should last us, although we're probably going to need to concentrate on getting the beavers down into this area, which we also created last time, of which there is absolutely no way to get to it. But this is going to be the mining district. Eventually bots will fix this, but that is why we need this endless power up here. But first, when these guys have finished pumping this dry, we need to build a hell of a lot more planks. So I think what's going to be the best thing we can do for now is probably just lay a couple of those in. to get these put in. I don't know why I flipped it, but there we go. I'm going to put in 4, and hopefully, again, we'll have to prioritize this, I think, when we get around to it. There are 11 unemployed beavers, so I'm confident the best thing to do with their time is going to be hauling. So congratulations to these guys. Get nothing. I am going to upgrade the priority on these though. They shouldn't take too long, even with the problem with the planks, but if we can get these beavers working, we should be in a decent situation. So we get 10 into that one. We'll leave the 5 in there. There could be a bit of a buffer space. In fact, we probably can just leave that as default priority and then get around to that as and when. So while we're waiting for the bad tide to do its thing in a, well, I think it's the longest one we can do, we can now look to lay in this area. So the plan for this was to pretty much just run it straight out of here and down into the tubeway station here. So while we think about how this is going to be done, is that a 2? Yes, it is. But I think the best thing for us to do is again going to be relying on our good friends, this guy, and I'm hoping I think, can't really tell with the dodgy angles, but I think that's the one for us. So we just need to build up as high as we can. Which will be there, so far too high. I think it's just a 1 and then a 5. The problem we're going to have is they can't build that, so this was a very stupid idea. So let's say goodbye to this. We need to build it here, so let's just chuck those in at this edge, I believe. No. That should bring us perfectly in line, I believe. No. We need a 4. Oh well. Slightly easy to construct. And then it's just going to be a case of getting the old tubeway station bits and pieces laid in after that. And so that can then hook into there, that can hook into there. We could probably tidy that up to make that a little bit nicer and rip that out eventually, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We can claim it back. So then they can get down here again. They are going to be sitting behind that for a long, long time. So we are not quite full on water, which is what it is. But all the beavers are now gainfully employed in hauling, so hopefully that's getting what we need delivered to where it needs to go to. We're looking good for the resources there. Food, probably should just double check because we have quite a lot of more beavers than we have before. We also created more of these down here. Corn forever is probably going to be fine. So I think actually we're okay. There's nothing too much of an issue pretty much anywhere on here, so that's okay. Scrap is a problem, actually, looking at that. Why is scrap a problem? Is it because you've got to walk across all of creation to empty? So there, they should go into there, so that might help though. Yep, so scrap is a problem. Yeah, okay, fine. And again, so are the logs. So why is this not been planted? What are you doing? Have I colossally messed up? Did I plant mangroves? Wow. Wow. Fails all round. What am I doing? That's what I get for paying absolutely no attention whatsoever. Well, what a waste of a few days. Okay, fine, fair enough. Please plant me these, except this one at the edge. Or that one, or that one. Well, that should keep this guy busy now that he can actually plant trees. That was a big fail. But I think we're going to need to worry about that a little bit less. So, again, it's going to be a case of getting this in. At least for now. We can connect it with the tubeway eventually, so... Just... Can they reach everything on there? Yes, they can, so let's get that in. And get these set for cutting. They will get to that eventually. This, I believe, is... not set to the highest priority. No, but yeah, doing quite well on there. How are we doing for metal? Okay, we're out, so yeah, alright, scrap is a problem. So, scrap can be fixed, I think, by rushing these in. Which are pretty quick to build. This is now bone dry, so welcome back to the main workforce. And there should be a million beavers with absolutely nothing to do. Which looks to be true. There are 16 with nothing to do. So, need to get these guys into jobs. I'm just wondering if it's worth pushing these first. Probably so, to be fair. So, let's just get them in. Kind of pointless without the logs, but yeah, we'll worry about that shortly. And I guess we can worry about sorting this out, I guess. So the middle seems like a good a place as any. We can probably do here. Seems middle-ish, kinda. Yeah, not there. And we'll just run in a semi-efficient path. Again, just to get that prioritised over the other stuff. So we don't have a lot of explosive storage, do we? That's possibly a problem. let's fix that, because it's always going to come in handy. These can take explosives, right? No, they cannot. Okay. Well. I guess what's best then in here put old Miss Dynamite in here. I would like that doing over this as well. So with any luck, we should be able to get those built fairly quickly. There are quite a lot of beavers sat doing nothing with the water dumps, but these areas are too precious to let die. These should be within cutting distance though, so is your problem... Will be haulers. Right, okay, let's get some haulers up here to take all of this stuff out. You've got nothing to do, although I'm not sure what that's doing. Is that not marked for cutting? Wow, it is not. So, mystery also solved. Yikes. That will probably help, and so will that. Well, there's your problem. A few trees that you can't actually get. So, I got the repair, that's good. Working on that. That scrap's going to disappear probably very quickly, but we can open up this area down here and rip all this tiny bit of scrap out as well. That's not a problem. There was something else we was going to look at last time, and I've forgotten what it was. Coffee, I think. So we can brew it, but we can't store it. We only have 60 of them, so I think... the gatherer flag coffee, yeah, so you've got absolutely nowhere to put anything, so I think this spare one here can be coffee beans, I believe. They can get that sorted, moved up into there. The gatherer flag, I don't think there's too much of an issue letting this guy do all the hauling. I don't think we need to prioritise the haulers for that. Let's see how far are they getting on this. Just go down a layer or two. Okay, they're tearing through that quite quickly. There we go. So this is what it actually looks like. That's layer 2. Go down. So that's the first layer, so that's all done. That's A-okay. I think they've done everything there. Looks like it. So they've got some of those extra bits to lay in, and there's the wood for all of that, then the wheels and all of the other stuff on top. Yeah, that's right. There's nothing there, is there? No. Okay. Well, there's a problem. Let's fix that while we can. Good job we noticed that, and hopefully they can get round to that. I think they can build through all of this. I think it's only dirt they can't build infinitely down through. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a bit of interesting shenanigans to get them down to do those two last bits, because they'll be... I could prioritise them, but I'm not going to. So, yeah. And then that should all be covered. We've got to build up the sides on this and put the wheels on top of this. So they're going to be a while. Once that's done, we're probably going to have resources for days, to be fair. You can reach this corner, can't you? Yes, good. Okay, this is done. Let's kaboom these. Happy days. And again, it's going to be a similar story with this area, so... You know the drill with this bit. I think let's get rid of that one. Get the water dump into here. And the forester. Yeah, do that, and then this guy in here, and then this guy can be going here, and half this up. That should be everyone sorted. Not there's anything for them to do. There's only two things, then rip this guy out, and we can then plant some trees. So let's get those laid in. That can hit everything up to there, right? So hoping this has the range. Goodbye to that. Yes, please. I wonder if it's worth leaving a gap, actually. If we do that, and then we can get in to way station. We can get them up this hill a little bit, and then they can. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do that, but that's super low. We'll hook it into here at some point, and then they'll be able to get in and out without coming up these stairs, and then we'll just reclaim those bits. You have nothing to do, so goodbye for now. I'm not sure why they built those first, but I guess they've got nothing to do, so... Let's get them to concentrate on that, again with our limited wood resources. That's good for the motorbikes tearing past the window, thanks for that. Okay, so we are literally playing a waiting game for all of that at the minute, which, yeah, kind of is what it is. I suppose this is now going up. Coffee has its thing, yeah, so we're stuck behind metal basically. Scrap's still not coping either. Let's... No, I don't think we need to prioritise that with the haulers, to be fair. It's not like we don't have a lot of scrap storage. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough, and we're obviously nowhere near it, so it's going to be interesting, I think, to keep up with all of that. I think we are going to have to look at probably another layer on top of these, to be honest, because when we get round to this bad boy, we're going to need treated planks. Well, A, to build it, which we don't have enough of. We could actually work on that. We've got enough gears to build the thing. Don't have enough logs. So we may as well keep the gear workers somewhat busy. I don't think they have anything they can do. But we're full on those anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. What's in their gears? Let's just rip that out. Can gears go in here? No, they can't. I shouldn't have done that. Never mind. I'd like to prioritize that over the other bits too. How are they getting on? So this is going to be a construction project that's going to take a fair while. Especially seem to be stuck behind a metal problem. Not sure how best to deal with that, to be fair, other than more of these. So I think it's going to be a case of more of these. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Why? Should absorb some of the extra beavers we've got. That's going to tear through that pretty sharpish. I think these need to be unpaused as well. So I've got less 17 days, 13k of water, it's fine. Foods, okay. Coffee beans have not yet been harvested. It would have been nice if they had, but appears that this guy is probably busy. He's probably looking at his mangoes, to be fair. Oh, mangroves. Good, so all of these guys should be ripping that out pretty quick. What we like for power? We are just over by one with 2 engines. I don't think that's too much of a problem. They're not all doing anything anyway, so that's okay. What are these trees like? They're nowhere near done. They are marked for cutting, I hope. They are not. Well, good news. There we go. There's a couple of bits of wood we can use there. Now what we do for everything else. So the raw stuff's ticking up as well, so that's what we want to see. Scrap's now picking up. And that is hopefully keeping up with what we have to get them to do. It also doesn't help, this is probably a million miles from where they need to be, so I need to be prioritising work, but that tubeway station being operational would be quite an advantage. Let's do that, and I think, rightly or wrongly, I think if we did this, I think those would be of benefit, so they can at least use the tube to get up to the top mountain here without having to go all the way up the hill. Maybe faster, it may not be, I'm not sure. But I do believe this is our beaver building contingent. Yeah, I think it's a logistics issue to get stuff moved around, to be fair, so we'll leave them with that, and hopefully that will improve things a little bit better for the beavers to get up and round here. We didn't prioritize these. Oh yeah, because we're building on top of them, we have to. Never mind. Right, fair enough. It is what it is. Okay, so let's just leave them to it. Trees. How are these getting on? So we're starting to get some pop in, I think, looking at this. Yes. Good. This is now in working order. Can they... I think we're going to do the same and probably demolish this chunk of mountain here, but there's quite a few oaks up there, so it's a bit better idea to get up there and rip those down, whereas rather than just deleting them like we did when we took out this corner here. Makes it a bit boring, I suppose, looking at it, but the advantage is going to be more trees. Which we kind of need. Okay, so that should distract him enough, I think, from using too much metal that they were putting in for these imperial floors. Hopefully gives us a bit of breathing space on the planks, although I don't think it does. There was a big pit that I dug down here, which, yes, they've emptied. Alright, fine. Can't do anything with that. Yeah, okay, so let's also get that and... Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, it's just a seedling anyway, so that's not gonna do anything. And again, it's just gonna be a case of yet more tree cutting. And hook that up. You were going to be dirt, as were you. May as well set that and stop it complaining. Which will be ideal. I think they can build everything at this point. Yeah, okay, good. Planks. Yeah. It'll be a bit ropey, I think, but I think it'll be okay. They should be able to build everything. Yeah. I haven't done anything too stupid. And then once they've got these bits built... Yeah, alright, that's fine. I can see this mine being a problem also. Just gonna have to make that a priority, I think. Still a fair bit. We're only lacking 53 things now rather than 73, so not too much of an issue, I don't think. Maybe? Question mark? But yeah, we will hopefully not take too long getting that done. It probably wasn't a good idea to build it out of levees, but it's a lot of wood waste, I suppose, especially since they're too deep. Never mind. Never mind. It'll be okay. So we do have 4 beavers with nothing to do, although if we give them another job, we're going to lose into this. Oh, we got 9 homeless beavers. Right. So... we need more housing, and I don't think it's going to be too easy to squeeze them into this bit. Or is it? Possibly not. Okay, so I know that we can do this here. Kind of got a bit of wasted space at the back. So let's do that actually, and then make some hideously ugly pathing, but can't do much about that. But maybe, just maybe, we can put some decoration in. We do a clock or a brazier, maybe. That's kind of pointless. That does reach, so let's chuck that there. Why not? And I don't know. They can have a bench. They can sit on it and enjoy the bench. No, thank you. So we're still short on housing. Yikes. Okay, so how do we fix that? I think I can over here. Kind of stuck with that one, I think. So I guess it's going to be I don't know if that offends my OCD, but it'll have to do, I think. If they can have a nice cliffside view looking out over everything. There's surely enough housing there to maintain all of that. How are we doing up here? Yeah, it's still got a fair bit to do. That's basically the problem. So once that's finished, they should be able to get that connected up pretty quickly. That should improve efficiency. Yeah, okay, we're good for that. Metal is a problem, but that I think is a hauling problem more than anything. Let's fix that. Hopefully they can keep scrap pumped into here. Again, if we get stuck behind the logs, which is likely. We've got 12 days and we are out of water. That's not good. Oh, not actually out of water, but this channel's out of water. I think this is the longest bad tide we've had, to be fair, so see that plays out. We're probably in more storage territory as well, to be fair. So I'm wondering if that's something we should concentrate on doing rather than this. Good, so they'll be connected shortly. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to prioritize this bad boy also. So yet more. After they've done that, so hopefully that improves things up here substantially. There's a couple more to go. 2 planks. We have the planks. And if they all stop walking around, then we should be good. Well, I'm glad I saw that. So now... There we go. Right. Awesome. It's a quicker way home for them, so that's perfect. Good. Right. Alright, so... Some pathing improvements have been made. It's just waiting on this monstrosity at this point. What do we do about that? I don't think there's much we can do, to be fair. It's still too long. Is it already dead? No. I don't know if there's a fluid dump here somewhere, actually. No. I can't really get anyone over here either. What can I do about this? I think if I... put these out. I think it's going to be a case of making just a little tiny tiny fluid dump area, I think. I always keep most of it alive. I don't think that's too much of an issue. Obviously need to wait till morning. So these ones, I think it's because they're higher up here. So there is... Why? Ah, yeah, there's a fluid dump up there, isn't there? So that's why. Whether they can do all this before they actually die, we'll find out shortly, but kaboom those. That is actually a very good point. Hold please, callers. These jobs are very important. Hopefully they can get on that. We are starting to make quite a large dent in the water as well, which does concern me. Looks like we have a spare beaver, so hopefully they can get water over here pretty quick. What I think I will also do is put this in. So hopefully this beaver here can get us sorted with getting some water in here quickly. Good, okay. Don't know if that's going to do too much to the range, but it's hit pretty much all the coffee bushes it needed to hit, so that's perfect for what we wanted. When it's full, I don't know if we'll get an extra 5 on it, but I'm hoping that This guy can sort us out if needs be to plant some more. Sorry, this guy. But it's not even full yet, so can worry about that later. Hopefully. Not sure if it'll do it, but eh. And they're actually birches, right? Fair enough. Can't do much about those. So that's most of the coffee there. We have lost a little bit. We could easily get some ladders put in, I think, and fix that problem if we wanted to rip them out, but I don't think I really do. Well, we might just have to tunnel that, to be fair. Where do we leave? 6, I think. Yeah. Tell you what. I'll tell you what. We will do it. So. I'll add an extra one in just for funsies. They'll get to that when they get to that. I'm not in any rush for it, so we'll come and check that out later. So, 8 days left, 8k of water. That's lower than I'd like. So we're going to need to get them to concentrate on pumping and take pretty much all of the spare beavers we have and stick them back in the pumps, which is going to be its own thing, but we'll wait till the end of these 3 days and then we'll, I think, wrap up that build down here and then put them back in the pumps. Shouldn't take them too long to get these bits in. So we still don't have the logs, but we do have the gears. We don't have the treated planks either. Not sure what they've been used for, but there you go. Where are the treated planks? Oh, they're there. Okay, fine. That's okay. Yeah, okay. It didn't fill in quite as much as I'd hoped, but never mind. This scrap is not going to last. Have they started on this? They have. Okay. I'm probably going to get the haulers to deal with these two. That's a bit of a distance for these guys to walk, so put that out. I do love these. The fact they can just build at either side of it is the most broken feature ever, and I love it. Yeah, it just takes more planks, which we still aren't doing great in. There are tons of trees though, so why is this a problem? I'd have thought that'd have been getting that sorted, but not sure why that's so much of an issue to get these trees cut down. Is it because they're going into the planks? No, because they're just not in stock. Strange, very strange with that one. Okay, just 7 days to go. Water is very tight. I do not like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, well, it is what it is. We'll have to live into it, I think. So these will be fine. I think all of these will be fine. It's this pool I put in last time, as these ones all died out. Once this eventually gets built, which has been sat here waiting for, well, since creation, dicking me plant these, but we're kind of okay. No, we've got no mango fruits, but mangrove fruits, but still. When there's no water, what can you do? Yes, we do have all the loggers running, so that's plankers, should I say. Yeah, you're done by hollers too, so I don't get why it's so much of an issue for you. Alright, whatever. Okay, so I think it's just waiting for... Kind of stuck on... I think I'm gonna cap... I'm gonna cap the size of the colony at where we are at the minute. I think we've probably got too many beaver pots brewing at once. Why is this built? Why is this actually built? I don't need that yet. At least that's where all of our bits and pieces went to, probably. Yeah, because they've not built, although they've tried, actually. Fair enough. Don't question the beaver logic. It makes sense to someone. Hopefully we can get this finished tomorrow, beaver time. And I want to say this is going to injure a lot of beavers. I'm not a fan of it, but if needs must, needs must. Where did you come from? That beaver go? There was a beaver here, right? Where did he actually go? I'm very confused because there is no access to this for anyone. Mystery beaver, ghost beaver. We need the beaver busters to sort that out, I think. Okay, anyway. So we have wood. This is growing up, so this isn't anywhere near remotely done. Again, stuck behind logs and planks. Okay. Yeah, tragically, we've lost some of those, but never mind. Not too many in the end. I think our production is just literally outstripping everything, so kind of is what it is. Good, that's back online. That's going to have everything sunken into it, which is okay. That's the scrap. That shouldn't need too much. Let me just check what that needs. Yeah, just sparkly planks if you want 5. I think we're probably going to just leave it for that one. He says. Let's see what happens when it gets built. So 5 days to go. Some scrap is left. What I could probably do is make this a bit more efficient by just running a pathway this way. Now there's space for it, but I'm not gonna. As I would like to fix this area again for more trees, because we're definitely going to need them. I don't think anything will grow here, but it will by the time we get to it, so there'll be another army of tree planters, tree cutters, and, well, hole waterers, I suppose, to keep that all in check. Okay, they're chewing through all of this as well. Alright, let's just get a quick update of where we are on this. So these need to be finished, which they haven't done yet. Again, blanks, which we have 12 of. It's not quite 36, but hey ho. They should be able to build these off the side, so I'm not too concerned. That still works, so... It seems like they're moving back into doing stuff on this area, so that's, I guess, good? Question mark? But still, with this here, I fear for the beavers, safety. We do have a little area up here somewhere. I think it's underneath. Yeah, so we have this little hospital wing here with 8 hospital beds, although we have 10 injured beavers, which is more than I would like. Although we do have space here actually, so there's still some force, so I guess let's make hay while the sun shines and stick in another one. Priority on that, so that gets done. Again, log on some blanks, which looks like we're finally seeing an uplift in blank number, log numbers. That's good. I think I'll probably pause the gear workshops once this is full. We've got enough to fill it actually, so I don't think we use them for anything else, so I'm just going to pause them. So I believe that should save us some. Thanks. Sparklers we're going to need to keep producing now that we need this thing running. We could probably do with a stop. Oh, we have one here. My bad. Could do with a stop up here though, I think. Some of this area's got the bits and pieces we need. Not that there's much in it. The haulers to bring that in, and the haulers to deal with that too. And again, blanks. Right, fair enough. Kind of stuck waiting for that, so not too much we can do about it. This probably should have been knocked down in terms of priority, but I do like to babysit the Omega project. Oh, these do have all the logs in though, so that's good. So most of this is scaffolding, which is Plank City, so it's only the sides that are too high, which 2 blocks high, but anyway. It'd be nice if it was dirt, but it tragically is not. And then once we're up with this one, we just need to get them to walk on top, and we'll need to fill in this area. But they should be able to build most of that without too much grief, and then stick in the wheels. And I'm hoping this works, because if I didn't, it's a bit of a waste of cash and resources. And then we've got to do a bit of terraforming, which is where this bad boy comes in. But once all this is finished, I guess all these other construction projects will probably be done in like 30 seconds. Well, give or take 30 seconds, I suppose. Alright, what we've got left? 2 days, or 2.5 days. Okay, so we have a ton of beavers with not much to do. I think, in that case, we could be thinking about hauling I think we are. So, I would like this area clearing up here, please. And get this area emptied of the trees, as we do not need them. I need the space for hauling posts. I mean, that means we can put them back in here, to be fair, so I may just do that. Yeah, I do need to fix this as well. So, can I be cheeky? I rip that out. I think they can reach those. Oops. Wrong key. Can. So, good. Right, so now with that in, we can happily put in this guy again. And he can be useful. And I guess for lack of anything better to do, and so I don't forget, let's get that tick box in. Well, I mean, they're sat on the backsides doing absolutely nothing, but we are going to need that to be filled up quickly. Yes, it's treated planks, which is a problem now. Right, fair dues. With 1 day left, we have just about enough water. We need more storage. I think next episode we're going to need to figure this one out rather sharpish. I do want to blast this area out to be much deeper, so I don't really want to build anything on it unless I have to. Overhangs might be a bit more interesting. In fact, I probably will go that route thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's the better option. If this area gets cleared, we can also stick some tanks up there, but I think we need to, not double, but certainly add another fair few in. But with 1 day to go, that is pretty much all of our water. Good. You are fired, as are you. So I don't actually need a hauling post up here anymore, but we have space if needs be, so that's good. Have they finished? Yeah, all of those are in. That's nice. Anyway. Just over half a day to go. We have quite a few trees that are coming in. These ones shouldn't take too long. Probably unpause this guy. I just saw there's someone set up here ready. Again, there's a lot of beavers doing absolutely nothing, but I'd rather they do absolutely nothing than anything else, so... and then be bored while we have the stuff for them. Yeah, we could probably put the water things over here, so that's job for next time. I'll have to remember to do that. These are okay. Just enough. They should get replanted, I believe, by this guy. As they're not marked for cutting, even though they're not trees. Come the morning, we should get nice, clean, fresh water coming in. Got a decent amount of logs available, so that's okay. We're probably going to need another one of these in, so Good luck to lay that in sooner rather than later. Sparkly plank shop. Not sure how many of these we need to power this thing. Cool. So, in comes the water with any luck, and these guys should be back at work, ready to pump. Like their lives depend on it, because it does. Awesome. Right. So that'll take a while to sort everything out. Yeah, they're going to be planted. Oh, lovely stuff. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to wrap up this episode here. We had quite a long bad side, which I think was 30 odd days. So with about where we are, we're in a good place. This isn't too far from finish. There's a layer to go, ish. Some minor tweaks and some diversionary tactics with some of the bad water here, but that's not going to be too much of an issue, I don't think. Tree situation is kind of mostly sorted, but not really. We need to fix this area, but once the stairs are built, we'll fix that. And then, yeah, next time we are going to be tackling water, as it was clear that we can just about survive 30 days, but I don't think they can fill these in the brief amount of time we're going to have for this. So, yeah, we will see how that goes. But yes, if you have any comments, please chuck them down below. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.